Let's all laugh at Liverpool. Hashtag mind the gap. Or maybe on my left side. But either way, mind the damn gap. Yeah. This is the way of things. This is how it needs to be. You know, it's just until you see the truth, then I don't know what to say for you, Liverpool fans. But smash the likes if you're a United fan or a rival fan that enjoys the Liverpool tears. Yeah. Because you know what? We've been in this long battle with the most successful, team in England, apparently. Well, factually, they are, to be fair, but, they're just glorified, to say the least. Since I'm a little bit more less objective on rival fans on my own channel, it's time to let loose a little bit. Because, when they end up walking alone, absolutely singing Arne Slot's name to the brim after all the mocking of United, and even though they think they've had an error when they haven't, this is what they deserve. Today it was a win-win for Manchester United fans. Win-win. It didn't matter if City lost, really, or Liverpool lost. Because with City, at least we would be closer to them and closer to second. But really and truly, the more important victory, because I'm not a big fan of both sides overall because there is a rivalry there, but Liverpool the most spikes my levels of intolerance of these so-called pretenders, to say the least. And as I keep following this club, and every time they lose at Anfield this season or draw or have maybe one win in their last 7 games, and overall, it's just like football just makes you wonder how it works in circles and roundabouts. And right now, United on the up, even if it has been 4 games, and they're on the way down, even after spending $500 million. Because you know what? God forbid, and everyone, tune in as well. Get your comments in, because imagine if United spent 500 million circa, regardless of what you sold, because we don't do net spend trophies around here. If we spent 500 million, I wonder how many articles that Athletic would be publishing by now. This is difference in big club status, right? Get to know if you don't know. And then, if a certain individual, or even 2, let's say it was Pogba at the time, who cost us about 80 million pounds, why is there not articles about Isak, even though he's injured, to be fair, for how much he cost and how poorly he was doing? And obviously Wirtz, you can't be playing Burnley and Wolves every week, to get your goals and a couple of your assists in the Premier League. Like, you're talking about someone that you're investing into, but I'm not going to lie, 120 million, 160 million is not an investment at this point. It's you're coming here to hit the ground running because you must be that good, So there's always levels to all of this. And I'd like to say that Manchester United actually started Liverpool's downfall, because after them having their blip of 5 purple patch wins at the start of the season, after warning them, this don't look as good as it did, right? Man United started off with all of this with the win at Anfield. We always seem to have a knack of these things when it comes to beating these sides. And then, when it comes to, breaking down things, it's like, oh, was Man United that good? Or was Liverpool that poor? Or was Man City that crap? Or was Man United that good? It's always the same case with us. But these lot deserve it, because widening the gap between us and top 4, top 5 even, is just, it's at this moment in time, it's not a major gap, but it's still a gap. Because we are desperate for some Champions League funds to go and secure a better rebuild than probably what Liverpool are securing at this moment of time. And I'm not really celebrating top 4, but I'm shameless, so I've got nothing else to go for. They can keep talking about, oh, if we win the Champions League, I'll just give it a rest. Not trying to hear all that crap. Oh, if we win the FA Cup, just give it a rest, man. Put the sword down. Go make a cup of tea, relax, chill out. Yeah, because I'm not hearing about this. You don't like your manager, but you think you're going to go win something. Make it make sense. So do you believe in him or not? Yes or no? And even today, at Anfield, like I would say majority of the game, and when I say majority, actually, that's probably a little bit harsh. For over half the game, you would actually suspect that, Man City, took their shoes off, had their socks on, sat down on a sofa and got real comfortable after being there, not even for mere minutes. Liverpool look like a real wayside. And I just wonder if these jokes are going to continue. This is why you just got to laugh at these lot, because they think they're better than what they are. You know, when you think of an era that's meant to be their dominant era in the Premier League, and I keep trying to put this across to Monts and so-called others that support Liverpool as well. It's like, if this is what you're glorifying, and this is your way of catching up to what Fergie done to you lot, right, and surpassing you, man, in trophies and the rest of it, yeah? Yeah? This is, what you got to show for it? What, 2 Champions Leagues? No, 1 Champions League, shall I say, 2 Premier Leagues, Carabao and the FA Cup, maybe 1 or 2. I think 2 Carabaos. Is that it? Is that all you have to show for an era of since Fergie's retired in like, what, 14 years? I don't even want to even go back to that era. I'm just saying in that span, that's all you've won. And this is meant to be like this fearsome Liverpool with the best goalkeeper in the world, best right winger in the world, best DM in the world, best centre back in the, like, we've heard it all. It means more, apparently, you know, because, you know, they ain't done a Premier League before, so it must be more, or all of this rubbish that Trent was trying to spew at that moment of time. You know, I'm kind of getting sick of it. And now this humble behavior that I'm seeing across the board, it just reminds me of Ten Hag's first season. It's just miraculous and beautiful to actually witness such a thing, you know, when you don't have to hear the noise of the other team that decides that they want to also wear red, you know. So I'm in that kind of boat. And I'm going to enjoy every moment of it, because Sunderland away next week without no right back for another 3 games. So I wonder what's going to happen there. You know, Sunderland's unbeaten at home, if I'm correct as well. So that gap's just going to keep widening whilst United keep getting better. And when I keep saying along the lines of, you know, football works in circles, you know, one team doesn't stay down forever, you know. And I don't get this notion. It's been a real bad decade for United standards, but at least we picked some crap up along the way. A bit like how you picked up some decent things along the way, that Champions League as well back then, but not much to really amount to really show that success has been a big part of your last 30, 40 year tenure, you know. So I'm kind of with that. I'm just here to overall say, hold that. Yeah, hold that. Cody Gakpo, 250 grand a week. You know, when Mason Mount signed that contract, he was getting absolutely ridiculed about, you know, such money that he's on. And now you're stuck with someone that's absolutely average on the left-hand side that doesn't contribute to much bar the odd strike in the goal net if it's against Man United, you know? And now he's on 250k until, you know, what, 2030. Why don't we talk about that? Because you lot don't sell. It's as easy as, you know, get with the program. Yeah? And you know what? As much as I'm being harsh, I'm in my shameless bag until we're rubbish. And right now, we're not. How about that? And you know what? You could even say, you could probably even argue that part of the way we play looks similar to how Liverpool were playing last season. So it's nice to see that you're looking over the pond with gritted teeth and a stern look at the back of your face, because, you know, us Brits like the passive aggressiveness. And the ones abroad, you're probably about to slag me off in the comments, but guess what? I don't care. I don't care. You know, how you letting both Manchester clubs come on your doorstep, you know, your absolute arch enemies, and taking 3 points with ease. Yeah? How about that? I'm just in a moment of time where, you know, I you know, people do make like 10 assumptions or predictions, and then that one becomes right. And guess whose bag that is right now? Mine. So, you know, like I like to say this little line of, I told you so, because it's not me, it's you, innit? If it's not you, it's me. So let the games begin. Because it might not even be Europa League. It might be Conference League. You know, you might have to be hearing a theme tune, and you're going to have to go play Noah FC. You know, Bruno's Magpies might be in the fold. You might even have to go to places like Uzbekistan if you're not careful, you know, because 6th is looking joint points with Brentford at this time, you know, or 5th, wherever it is, right? That could well be 7th. You know what? If there's 5 places, it might even be 8th. Yeah? So you lot keep working for us. You get us those coefficient points, you know, to make sure, and there's a guaranteed top 5 Champions League, and you keep working for us, Liverpool. Yeah? And you Liverpool fans, you keep barking orders, because this is just beautiful. So on that notice, you know what? I might even continue. How about that? I just don't understand how you lot are one of the worst champions of all time. No one's going to remember you. You know, when you look back in the years and you're like, oh yeah, I remember that. You know, it's like Blackburn winning. It's like, oh yeah, I remember that team winning. You know, who was that? Liverpool. Oh yeah, what season was that? What season was that? Was that when everyone just fell off a cliff and that season? Oh yeah. That one. And you know what the best thing is? you know the truth hurts. You know, it's when someone's spitting facts, you know, deep down, you're going to be at night in your rooms, shadow boxing the ceiling, wondering where it all went wrong and why your board continues to persist with such abomination of a manager in charge. And, you know, long may it continue. You know, I hope he gets a little bit further in the Champions League and breaks your hearts, because then he can stay in a job. Yeah. Arne slots Reds. Hey. Yeah. Long may it continue. Is it 5 points at this moment in time? Let me have a little double check. I don't know if I haven't checked about like 10 times. So I'm going to make sure that I'll get the point tally correct, because I've got West Ham next on. Oh, yeah, next week. It's only Tuesday. That's the case. It's looking like 5 points. Could be 8. And it might be 11. And that's not even a trophy. But guess what? I get bragging rights, to say the least. Like I said, I've got nothing to play for. So I'm playing for shameless behaviours. In a bit, Liverpool.